Modalities of verbal behavior include saying words, citing words, finger spelling words, picture exchange, pressing a button, writing words, selective or exchange of printed words. Three variable features of verbal stimuli are which sensory receptors are stimulated, physical characteristics of the stimulus, and function of the stimulus. A major advantage of conceptualizing language and cognition as verbal behavior is that we can teach it to individuals who struggle with learning disabilities and language cognition. Three categories of stimuli that control verbal behavior are verbal discriminative stimuli, nonverbal discriminative stimuli, and establishing operations. Two types of listener behaviors are mandated compliance and non-mandated stimulus selection. Mediated reinforcement may or may not be specific or correspond to the form of the response. Listener behavior is not a receptive language. A verbal repertoire is necessary for the human species to transmit knowledge across space and time. Verbal features of mediated reinforcement related to timing are that it can be delayed or immediate. Skinner's analysis of verbal behavior focused instead on the function of language. Another term for the speaker is verbalizer. A stimulus which exerts thematic control can evoke many different verbal response topographies. A response product is a change in the environment produced by a behavior. One adverse outcome associated with weak or deficient verbal properties is frequent challenging behavior. Many children will not acquire some aspects of verbal behavior if they are not taught. Mediated reinforcement may vary in modality, intensity, or magnitude. With formal similarity, the form of the stimulus highly constrains the response topography. The unit of analysis in verbal behavior is the verbal operant. Skinner's text provided the foundation for today's most scientifically supported behavior interventions for language delays and deficits. In 1957, B. F. Skinner published Verbal Behavior. The term mediator can be used interchangeably with listener. A response product is an immediate direct result of the behavior. The person exchanging in verbal behavior may be called the speaker or the verbalizer. Mediated reinforcement may be conditioned or unconditioned. Two general antecedent response relations used to classify verbal operants are formal similarity and point-to-point correspondence. Acknowledgement of the relation between speaker and the listener clearly indicates that it is critical children are taught to be great listeners. Words, sentences, and grammar are structural aspects of language. Processing, understanding, meaning, mind, and semantics are concepts associated with linguistic and psychological views of language, of verbal behavior. The major scientific journal is for research on verbal behavior is the analysis of verbal behavior. Formal control is different from formal similarity.